Hello, welcome back to another episode of Mountain Jim Card Collectibles. If you're out there having a great week so far. So, today I want to talk about how I've heard numerous times from your bigger sports card influencers that flipping is dead. And I'm not sure why they keep saying that. I'm a flipper. I went over my October numbers. I made more this October than I did last October. And how did I do it? Flipping. And if you're going to keep saying that flipping is dead, I'd probably argue that, well, you likely don't know where to surf at. Because flipping is really like surfing. And when you go surfing, you have to know where the wave is at. And if you don't know where the wave's at, you're not going to go surfing. I've been surfing before on the West Coast. I used to run around with my buddy. Only did it once. But he's a surfer. And he lives in Washington State. And he always knows where the best surf is at along that whole Washington coast. From north to south. Yeah, you got to wear a wetsuit or a dry suit when you go out surfing in Washington State. But let me tell you what, you have to know where the wave is at. And if it's in one part of the coast and not the other, then you want to go where the wave is at. So you can stand on your surfboard and actually surf. So if you don't know how to flip cards, I'd say, well, it's a lot like surfing. And I'd say you don't know where the wave is at, unfortunately. Nothing wrong with that. But I just keep hearing these big sports card influencers, pushing down, flipping is dead, flipping is dead. And I'd say, actually, it's not. I think they're saying flipping is dead because that's what they want. Because in reality, flipping is not dead. Anyway, let's get more into it. So I recommend, if you don't know how to flip cards, go hang out at a card shop. If you have a local card shop, that guy's a flipper more likely than not. And the reason I say that is because if I go to my local card shop and I hang out there and I'm flipping through the cards, looking through singles, whatever, I see other people come in through the doors and I see how the card shop owner greets them. And typically what I see is people coming through the doors looking for bigger name current cards. Someone walks in through the door and wants Caitlin Clark. Well, guess what? The card shop owner would say, yeah, if I didn't have Caitlin Clark cards, my doors would shut for good. Or else something like Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams, I've seen it at the card shop where that's what the people are looking for. And I've heard the card shop owner admit, that's if he didn't have these cards, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Caitlin Clark, Wemby, if you don't have those cards, then you're not going to be able to flip much of anything. Because if a card shop owner knows that, then what good are you going to do on eBay? And so when I went through my numbers of what did I flip this past, recent month, most of them are more, Paul Skeens type players, and that just goes along with you have to know where the surf is at to flip cards. If you don't hang out at card shops, like I do, you likely won't understand how to flip cards. And that just goes with if you hang out at a card shop and the guy is an active, running an active card shop with active customers, you're going to see it yourself. In fact, maybe next time I go to my local card shop, I'll do just a quick recording of, just a few of his glass top galleries. And what are you going to see in there? You're going to see the waves for the most part. What I'm saying is he knows where the waves are at. And if you don't know where the waves are at, you are going to struggle. And you might be one of these big influencers out there that goes, flipping is dead. And I would argue up and down the sports card chain, no. Flipping is not dead. You just don't know where to surf the waves. You don't know where the waves are at. So if you're someone that's just going out willy-nilly, buying cards with all sorts of names, I've been that guy, and take a picture, post it on eBay, or where else you sell your cards on online, like Mercari, I don't know. Anyway, and you put those cards up, those cards are going to sit and sit and sit and sit and sit. Eventually, if you're lucky, you might move those cards. And if you roll into, your Hall of Famers, those are typically safer cards to flip. But you may not get the same traction as, say, a Caleb Williams or Jayden Daniels at the moment. That's what I mean is flipping cards, you have to stay current with who's current. And right there on eBay, I just typed up Caleb Williams, Why did I put Caleb Williams? Well, that's another card that I'm looking to purchase right now to flip. And I can do it at my sports card shop. I can do it on eBay. There's other ways to purchase this, a Caleb Williams card and then try to flip it. And you have to kind of know what the price mark is on cards that you flip, So I'm just going to get into this Caleb Williams a little bit here, because this is another card that I'm searching out to flip, because this is where the wave, one of the waves are at right now. Caleb Williams, Here we see Panini Instant, first grade, Tenant, NFL rookie card, number 7 Bears, $59.99 or best offer. Obviously, there's not much action on this card for one reason or another. This Prestige, I could maybe put a bid on this right now. I just don't like the delivery charge. I don't like people who game delivery charges by... This is a 1995 card. Give me the 69, 70 cent eBay option of mailing. I'll do it. Anything that's $20 or under, I don't know why they're playing games with cards like this. Anyway, maybe it's a thicker card, but even for thicker cards, when you have that $20, 3 ounces max for the eBay, sports card shipping option, you have up to 3 ounces, so I don't know why. Anyway, I'm going off on a different tangent. So you really have to know where the waves are at. Here's one new Caleb Williams Topps Now rookie NFL card, October 2024, Chicago Bears linen. $278 with 4 bids. Maybe I wouldn't purchase one of these Panini Instant or Topps Now cards, I might look for something else to try and flip. So there's a lot of these, for one reason, prestige. Now, if you want to step it up, you can go ahead and purchase yourself an auto. For flipping, I try to stick with base a lot of the times for flipping before I jump into autos. A lot of times autos will sit and collect dust for one reason or another, usually because they have a more premium price on them. But here we have a Caleb Williams. Once again, let's go surfing now. Everybody's learning now, because once again, this is one of the waves. This is one of the waves. Here we have this 2024 Allen and Ginter Caleb Williams mini framed auto, number MA-CWI Bears rookie card auto. That's at $81 right now. I mean, that's a nice card to have. People, for one reason, aren't too excited about the Topps Now. My local card shop is loaded with these Topps Now Caleb Williams, newest run cards, whatever. And I think it's because the sports card shop it's easy to just load up with Tops Now. He can just purchase 10 Tops Now cards off the Tops website, no questions asked. You can do it too and resell them, I suppose, you know. And so I like to go to the card shop. If I'm going to do Tops Now, I'll just go to the card shop, or even, you know, Panini Instant a lot of times, because he's got them loaded up. Because he, like I said, he knows where the waves are at. So let's hit Paul Skeens. Oops, I put too many E's in there. Paul Skeens. Let's see what comes up. So here's a Paul Skeens 2023 Bowman's Best Top Prospects. You know, 3 bids. That's nothing. 225. You know, that's not a very good graded card. This is what I've been doing. A lot of times for like Paul Skeens cards, I just throw up a best offer on them. And I just seem to move the stuff faster with that best offer than auctions. I'm starting to see these other guys do it right now since the season's kind of coming down. Not seeing as many auctions. But if you know the players, if you have a local card shop, you can typically see, you know, like here's a good one, for instance. I'm surprised this one even has the bids it's getting. 2024 Topps Update Series Paul Skeens True Rookie Card Mother's Day Hot Pink 19 out of 50 for the Pirates. $203.50. 2 bids, you know. Not slabbed up or anything. That's just a raw card. That's the best way to flip a card, is raw. It really is. Why bother grading if you can flip for the money and just keep pulling that money up? Let's see. I'm looking for some more auctions. A lot of these people are, what I've noticed, they're selling, these sellers, they're selling it like I sell it. They're just putting the buy it now on this stuff. And there's going to be a lot of Paul Skeens. But I make money off Paul Skeens, and the card shop owner makes money off Paul Skeens. A lot of these flippers have a great chance of making cash off of Paul Skeens. Once again, he's just one of those places, you know, where the waves are at. Now we'll go into Caitlin Clark. Just looking at base. Don't want to hit any autos. For flipping, like I said, base, for me anyway, is the way to go. We're starting to get a lot of Caitlin Clark, though. That's just it. And that's the downfall of our current market, is the constant churning out of these sports cards. I mean, it just never ends. But if you want to flip, once again, you have to know where the wave's at. And Caitlin Clark is one of these waves. Current waves. The waves are here and then the waves are gone. Now, you can always, you know, put all your money in Hall of Famers that have a legacy. And I recommend doing that for, if you're going to spend a lot of money, either hit a current wave or like a Hall of Famer. A current wave as in like a Caitlin Clark, Jane Daniels, Caleb Williams, Paul Skeens, someone with name recognition that's hot, that people like. And you're going to struggle with that. Who do people like? It doesn't even matter if they're a good player. I mean, you can have the best player, and if the people don't like them, they're not going to buy their cards. So you have to know where. What is this? Okay, I got to check this out. Is this a... Yeah, that's a weird card. What is this? But once again, you know, someone's... Netherland custom cards. Okay, this is a custom card one. Okay. But I just keep saying, I keep hearing this. Flipping's dead. Flipping's dead. I would argue flipping is not dead. Flipping is maybe getting more refined, more like the card shop owners these days than it used to be. If you're a sloppy flipper, you're going to struggle. if you don't know where those waves are at, you're going to struggle. If you don't know where those key players are at, you're going to struggle. And I'll just keep saying it. If you have a local card shop, go hang out at the local card shop. You're going to start to figure out where the waves are at. Just watch the people coming through the doors. A lot of times there's just people coming through the doors, whether they're chasing boxes for a player or whether they are just stepping up and looking for the player like I do and purchasing that player. And then you can hear the good old, the card shop owner talk about, he wouldn't have a card shop if he didn't have that player, And that's what I'm driving in about this is there's a lot of sports card influencers. For one reason, they keep banging the drum that flipping is dead. And I'm just arguing that no, flipping is not dead. Flipping is as alive as it's ever been. And I've even, like this past October, I did better than last October, surprisingly enough. Why is that? I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting better. Better at the flip. Better at finding the waves. Better at sticking with which player is pertinent, which player is not, which player is hot, which player is not. And if you're not a surfer, then you're not going to be a flipper. Because surfing and flipping are very similar. If you've ever gone surfing and you've tried flipping, you'd be like, boy, this is like surfing. You got to really know where that wave is at. And I keep pressing that. You have to know it. If you're just out there, collecting for yourself, like players that I like, fortunately, a lot of the players I like are typically, easy flips if I have the card. Barry Bonds, for instance. All my Barry Bonds rookie cards, for one reason, I have just sold out. I have to get to the card shop, get to a card show, get online, and restock my Barry Bonds. Why? Barry Bonds rookie cards are one of the places where the waves are at right now, and I happen to sell out. Paul Skeens, if you see my videos, why am I always purchasing Paul Skeens tops now? Because once again, I keep selling them. That's one of the places where the waves are at right now. Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams. Maybe not Caleb Williams as much right now because he's not having that hell of a season. But I recommend surfing the Jaden Daniels wave possibly over the Caleb Williams. And then that's just it about flipping, is you're going to constantly be weighing one player against the other. Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels. Well, clearly to me, the waves with Jaden Daniels. You're going to have more interest. You're easier to flip. We went over the Caleb Williams. There was some interest there, but it's not exactly the strongest surf, if you know what I mean. I'm looking for a bigger wave. What's the biggest wave right now? Well, a lot of those Dodgers right now, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, if you can get on those waves somehow and flip, yeah, that's how flipping works. So I just wish that these influencers there's numerous influencers that keep saying that flipping is dead. And I'm going to argue with you, it's not. Maybe they just don't know how to flip. Yeah, overall my sales are down in comparison to last year. Yes, that's true. But I had a stronger October than last year, strangely enough, for flipping. And I just think it's just back to, hang out at the local card shop. Look at what they are selling. Listen to the news. Watch the news. Who's the hottest player? Who are they always talking about on the news? Think about that. And then don't chase too many waves. That's always the downfall of flipping, is if you start to chase too many players and you have all these cards. Well, unfortunately, a lot of it is kind of, you're kind of weighing a scale here. It's like, so you put Caleb Williams on the scale and you put Jaden Daniels on the scale. Who's going to weigh more? Jaden Daniels at this point. He's having a great season. So I would argue just flipping is not dead. It is just more, you have to know where to go to flip. Anyway, that's my speech for the day. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Yeah, I'm not a big channel, so that's how I keep this channel going, is people subscribing. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this episode. I'm out of here. Bye.